Is it weird?
No.
It actually feels really good. Old ass, I have no idea. I didn't even open the bag. Subtle, hushed.
That's a little sexual.
Kind of like an Alec Baldwin type talk. Now?
Right now.
Now?
Hit it.
All right, guys. Hey, going over the workout for Monday, April 27th. What we're going to do here for the first piece, for our strength piece, is we're going to have you going off on the 2 minutes, all right? So it'll be 4 stations, 2 minutes to complete, and then rest the remainder, right? The goal here, the purpose, I guess you could say, would be to get roughly a minute of rest on each one, maybe even more depending on how strenuous some of the movement is for you, all right? The 4 different stations here, and we'll go the movement, the reps, the tempo. So the first one is going to be a goblet squat. We say a goblet squat or a back squat. I'd say any kind of squat variation would work here. So let's say you have 2 dumbbells, that could be a dumbbell front squat, all right? Anything that is loaded the same on both sides, I say, because we're only going to do 1 set, we're not going to do 2 sides. So 4 to 8 reps, again, 3-2 X1 tempo. 3-second lowering, 2-second active hold in the bottom, explode on up, and then stand tall, all right? And then depending on how many reps you do, obviously it's going to determine the total time under tension. If you're using a barbell or maybe something other kind of heavy implement that you have, front squat, whatever, maybe we keep it in the lower range like 4 to 6. If we have a kettlebell or some kind of weight that maybe isn't super heavy for us but is at least challenging for us here, hopefully we'll keep it up to more like 8 reps. Second move we're going to go through is a single arm reverse fly. So I'll show this actually for a second. We've done this once before in the past, and we're saying this could be any object, all right? So I'm going to hinge over, and for now I'm just going to think about one arm coming back, all right? So my arm stays straight, my scap pulls back a bit, and then if I were doing this with 2 arms, it would feel like I was squeezing my shoulder blades together in the back. Same idea here. So I'm just going to come up, and then 1, 2, 3. Right back up, 1, 2, 3. And literally I could hold anything, right? Something light, making sure that we get full range of motion, but it doesn't have to be anything really heavy. Even if you're using, let's say you have plates, a 5-pound plate, that could also be a can of something, a vessel of water, whatever that might be. 8 to 12 on each side. Third move is going to be a hip thrust, all right? Or sometimes we call it a glute bridge, depending on how you're looking at it, but it's with the shoulders elevated. So if we have a couch, a bench, an ottoman, anything that is stable enough for me to put my shoulder blades across and be able to extend my hips on up to form a nice straight bridge, all right? The tempo here is 3 seconds lowering, so it's 1, 2, 3, right back up. You don't need to be able to touch your butt all the way to the floor, that's fine, right? If I have an object or an implement here, I could also weight this, right? So maybe I put a dumbbell in my lap, I could do it with a slam ball if I have that, a sack of flour, I don't know, whatever you might want to do to weight that. 10 to 15 reps at the tempo, and then we're going to go through the 4th movement, any kind of single arm press variation. So this is largely going to be determined by how much load you have. I think probably the easiest press variation, or what the movement that's going to allow us to use, or move the most load rather, right, is going to be a push press. So if I have a kettlebell here, right, and I stand, I dip, drive, I lock out overhead, 1 1000, 2 1000, right back up, all right? Let's say this is light enough that I can strict press it from here. Great, right? Same tempo, boom. We're putting the rep range kind of large, so 6 to 10 on each side. A lot of room for variation depending on what it is, as long as that rep range is challenging for you. We could also do that for maybe a half kneeling position. We could do a full kneeling position, all right? Trying to maintain an upright torso, tight glutes, all of that, all right? So it's 4 times through that. Whatever loading or whatever it feels like through the first round, just know that as long as we focus on good movement and sticking to the tempo, even if it starts out feeling easy, it's going to be tough by the time you get to the end, or at least it's going to be appropriately challenging, all right? From here, guys, we'll finish up with 3 rounds, pretty basic stuff, but it's going to be a 30-second at each station, and we're going to rotate through with no rest in between. So it's going to be 2.5 minutes of movement or work, 30 seconds of rest for 3 rounds. So what that's going to look like is going to be starting out with an overhead carry or hold. So depending on what I have, if I have room in my house to walk around, all right, I'm going to be locked out overhead, and I'm going to walk. All right, it doesn't have to be super far, as long as I'm moving. And actually, the slower, or more slowly rather, that I walk, the better this is going to be. So if we're walking for a total amount of time, it doesn't matter how quickly I'm going. All right, I'll do 30 seconds on one side. At the end of those 30 seconds, we're going to switch to the other side. Other things we could think about, let's say I have like a really light kettlebell or something like that, and overhead carries are easy there. Maybe I can go into something like a bottoms up carry. This is gonna be really tough for me to show, but something like this, all right? Holding that, 30 seconds, okay? But again, I'll go 30 seconds on one side, I'll do the other side. After that, I'm gonna go into 30 seconds of pistols. If I have pistols, full depth squat, can I do it? All right, I'll do it, right? All the way down, coming on out, alternating legs for 30 seconds. If I don't have that, I can go into any other variation of a lunge. So we think maybe a jump and switch lunge, all right? I could also go into maybe a lateral out lunge where I come out, drive myself out, back to standing. Anything that gets us into kind of that single leg squatting pattern for 30 seconds. We'll pop it to the floor, going 30 seconds of an arch hold, all right? So from here, I'm just squeezing my shoulder blades, squeezing my butt, and reaching in each opposite direction, holding this position, and then after those 30 seconds, flip on over to my hollow hold. So no space between my lower back and the floor. I'm all the way out here if I can. From here, I can work down from bringing my arms in. Then I can start to bring my legs in. Okay, again, even this bent knee hollow position, a lot of folks, again, if we do this properly, this is gonna be difficult. From there, maybe I go leg, right, other leg, boom. After that, 30 seconds up, rest for 30 seconds, and then we'll go through it 2 more times. Nothing else really to add to that. We're running classes on Zoom at 7 a.m. and 4. If you're doing this on your own, we'll also put a warm-up onto the blog that'll be appropriate for this. And let us know how things are going. Hopefully you guys enjoy the workout, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you guys soon. Peace.